Many of us have faced difficult times that have left us questioning our purpose and our future. Tonight, we'll meet three remarkable people who have overcome tremendous challenges to be successful and help others. They remind us through their strength that we too have the power to shape our lives and achieve greatness. The power is within us.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
Maureen Moore had a difficult childhood because she was in and out of the hospital, but she had her dog by her side. Later in life, she had another health scare and decided to finally make her lifelong dream come true. She credits a miracle with helping her open Assistance Dogs of Hawaii, and now she's helped thousands of people find the joy and independence they deserve.
Good boy, thank you. Oh, you let Sam in.
I first heard about a guide dog when I read a book when I was just 8 or 9 years old called Follow My Leader, and that was the first time I'd heard of a dog being trained to help someone, and I was just so intrigued by this and thought it was the greatest thing. So it's always been a dream of mine since I was little to train dogs to help people in need.
And during the early years of her life, Maureen was that person in need, finding herself battling illnesses that often left her at home alone for long periods of time.
And I had begged my mom to get a dog for so long that I was allergic to everything, including dogs. So we finally got a little poodle. And that dog just made such a big difference in my life and was such a companion to me growing up that just really helped me through some hard times.
Mo received her undergraduate degree in business, got married, and moved to Hawaii, working for many years as a successful CPA. But her battle to stay healthy was not over yet.
About 15 years ago, I experienced a health issue where the doctors told me that I might only have 6 months to live. And at that time, my first thought was, I've never done what I have always wanted to do, which was to train dogs to help people in need. And thankfully, I got better, and the first thing that I did when I got home was to sell my CPA practice and go back to school to learn how to train assistance dogs. Since placing the first dog back in 2000, we've trained over 200 dogs that have come through the program.
I'm Brian Conchiagama, and I am a lecturer for the Department of Special Education at the University of Hawaii's College of Education.
Brian has cerebral palsy and very limited mobility. He's also completely nonverbal and communicates through a text-to-speech device that he types into.
I am not able to deliver the verbal commands in the tone and pitch that a service dog could respond to.
Unfortunately, Brian wasn't eligible to get a service dog, so we developed a sign language where Brian could communicate through signals just using his right hand all the 90 different service dog commands. So we have to do the noun first, otherwise if I signal for go, he'll leave and he won't see the rest, right?
His main responsibility is to be there in case I drop anything like paper or keys, and he'll pick them up for me. I feel more confident in being out, knowing that should I drop my wallet or anything, I wouldn't be stuck waiting for someone to be nice enough to stop to help me, since Zeus would be right there ready to get my wallet for me, and he also wouldn't take any money.
The program has also grown to include other types of assistance dogs, like courthouse dogs and hospital facility dogs.
Tucker is the most beloved employee here at the hospital. I can say that. He's really, really very loved by the hospital staff and the patients and families. I take him to see as many children as I can through the hospital, really kind of giving them comfort, making their hospital stay as pleasant as it can be. So one of the commands, for example, that he knows and uses all the time that the kids love is snuggle. Jumps in bed with them and snuggles with them while they're getting an IV placed or medication, chemotherapy, different things. So he's really a lot of comfort and distraction. It really lowers their anxiety and stress.
3 years ago, we started a pilot program on Oahu at the Honolulu Prosecutor's Office when we placed courthouse dog Pono there. Pono has had such a profound impact on so many children who are going through such a difficult time. And she really makes them feel safe and is there for them during interviews, during medical exams, and even while they testify in court. And she doesn't just comfort the children, but she helps them to find their voice. These kids have experienced such bad things and such evil that it's really nice that she can be there to comfort them.
Puppy, 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 come here.
When I was little, I was allergic to everything, including all kinds of animals, including dogs. I remember just praying all the time that I would if I could just not be allergic to dogs, that I'd be good with everything else. And so I really feel like it was a miracle that I was healed of my allergy to dogs. But what's interesting is I'm still allergic to all other animals except for dogs. Maybe goldfish. So looking back at the experiences I've had, starting with being in the hospital as a young child, I can really see how God has used all those experiences that I've had, the good and bad, just to prepare me for doing this work. I really feel like this is my purpose, and I'm just so thankful every day to be able to do this and make a difference in people's lives.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
Have you ever asked yourself why dealers charge additional dealer markup? Well, we did too. Because here at King Windward Nissan, the home of the King Windward difference, we have no additional dealer markup over MSRP. Also, we'll change your oil, give you a rental vehicle, and safety inspections at no extra charge for as long as you own your car. Come to King Windward Nissan, where it doesn't cost more to do business in Hawaii. Conveniently located right over the hill in Kaneohe.
At King Windward Nissan, we're lifetime friends.
Think all solar systems are the same? They may look the same, but that's about it. Revolution uses panels like SunPower that pick up low-frequency light and produce more energy. Before other panels wake up, a Revolution system is already producing power for your home. And when the other panels call it a day, Revolution systems are still working hard. All that power adds up to a lot of savings. That was 30 seconds. Give us 30 minutes and we'll save you more. Revolution. Cleaner, smarter, solar.
The Ronald McDonald House is not a hospital. It's not a hotel or rooming house. It's a place of hope and support and caring hearts.
I have cancer. This house means a lot to me because it's close. I feel safe here, and it's just my family.
And when you're far away from home, this is your home. Words can't express what the home has done. You can't find aloha like what they give us here.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
Skylar Soares became a Make-A-Wish Foundation wish recipient after facing 3 serious illnesses. She's only 12 years old, but she's already encountered angels and a lucky golden retriever. She's a miracle child who's brought together a community to help make her wish of helping others come true.
Sun safe. Sun safe.
Skylar's precocious. She's also very spirited, and she has big visions for what the world should be like.
I worked with Skylar since she was 6, so that's when I first met her. She was sent to me because she was having repeated infections.
When she was in the 2nd grade was when everything really started to unfold, and she fell asleep in class and the nurse couldn't wake her up, and that's when we found out she was severely sick. So in 2009, Skylar had her first admission, and that was the first day of a 5-week stay at Kapiolani.
She had a rapidly progressive illness, going from basically normal values in her blood count, her kidney function, her liver function on a Thursday to desperately ill, in shock, in what we call multi-organ failure.
We didn't know still what was going on, and her doctors had told us to just get prepared for the worst. The room was darkened. Skylar had an upwards gaze. She also had gone into a semi-coma. You probably should call your priest, and it's probably in your best interest to get those who are close to Skylar to come over, and fairly soon.
This condition's often fatal. It wasn't long before Skylar that we had, I think, our first child in this hospital that ever survived it.
And then she had just learned to be pretty good at jump roping. So she asked me, "Mom, can you go and get my jump rope?" And then I said, "Well, Skylar, do you know where you are?" I realized that she was pretty much slipping away. And she said, "Mom, they're calling me, you know, they're calling me." And she goes, "They're all there, don't you see it? It's so bright. The angels are calling me, it's time to go."
They had like little tinkling voices and were calling me to come jump rope with them because I was just learning to jump rope. That's kind of what I remember.
And I said, "Skylar, I don't have your jump rope." She's like, "Okay, okay." And then she flatlined. It didn't quite register in the beginning that she flatlined until I visually saw the monitors with just a line going across. And that to me was probably the scariest moment of my life.
The hospital staff worked furiously and was finally able to revive Skylar. Although she was alive, doctors and specialists had no idea of the extent of the damage to her brain and body. Skylar lay in the dark with her mother and her other family members, completely unresponsive.
I was just on my rounds with Tucker visiting the kids in the hospital, and I happened to be with him up in the pediatric intensive care unit. And I remember walking down the hall around the nurses station, and Irma came out and said, "Oh, my daughter would love a visit from Tucker, can you come in?"
Tucker did his visit command, which is where he would nuzzle right up to a patient. I thought I was hallucinating because Skylar actually responded and she twitched a little bit.
And that was how we knew that Skylar was indeed in there. And her mom called for the doctors right away to let them know.
Following Skylar's miraculous recovery and awakening, she went through extremely intensive rehabilitation, and her new special friend Tucker was right there by her side. For such a young girl, Skylar had already been through so much, but her journey was really only just beginning.
In 2011, she was diagnosed with 2 forms of lupus. And usually when someone gets diagnosed with lupus, they have 1 class, but Skylar had 2 classes. And we got a call from the Make-A-Wish Foundation saying, you know, have you ever thought about Skylar getting a wish granted?
Because of Skylar's new diagnosis, she was forced to care for her skin in a whole new way, wearing hats and keeping out of the sun. This change in her life and education about sun safety gave Skylar an interesting idea that put a twist on her Make-A-Wish Foundation request.
Why don't I give the gift of hats? Because then people would learn about sun safety and also be able to wear the hat, and whether you have lupus or not, you could still be healthy and protecting the biggest organ in your body, which is your skin. Her wish was granted at Mary Knowles School, where Revolusun, the solar company here in Honolulu, they bought 1,000 hats for every Mary Knowles grade school student.
We went into the gym and I was totally surprised that my family was there, Make-A-Wish was there, Revolusun was there. They had me sit up on the stage and I was like, wait, what's going on? And they actually, Revolusun, gave everybody a high sky hat that has the Mary Knowles badge on it. And so now everybody can wear their hat at school, and the no hat rule is no more.
This entrepreneurial experience was a stepping stone for Skylar, leading her to create her own company, High Sky, that allowed her to design hats while also educating people about sun safety. Before she knew it, Skylar was designing hats for her very own fashion show so she could promote her vision.
I was all decked out. I had this really pretty pink dress, even though that's not my favorite color. It was a really pretty dress though. So I wore this really pretty pink dress. My best friend was there. I think there was 12 models that all modeled hats that I designed. If you focus your time and your energy and your mind on things you can't control, you're just not going to be a very happy person. Because those things you can't control, they're going to stay that way. You're not going to be able to change it, and it's just part of you. So if you can focus your energy, time and energy on things you can't control, then it feels like life is just so much more giving to you and your whole family, because then you can work on how to be a better person.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
Think all solar systems are the same? They may look the same, but that's about it. Revolusun uses panels like SunPower that pick up low-frequency light and produce more energy. Before other panels wake up, a Revolusun system is already producing power for your home. And when the other panels call it a day, Revolusun systems are still working hard. All that power adds up to a lot of savings. That was 30 seconds. Give us 30 minutes and we'll save you more. Revolusun, cleaner, smarter, solar.
We are not a government agency, yet we are always there. The Hawaii Red Cross needs your donation.
The Ronald McDonald House is not a hospital. It's not a hotel or rooming house. It's a place of hope and support and caring hearts.
I have cancer. This house means a lot to me because it's close. I feel safe here, and it's just my family.
And when you're far away from home, this is your home. Words can't express what the home has done. You can't find aloha like what they give us here.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
There's no doubt that Delores Gregoire is a winner. She's dedicated the last 30 years of her life to what many parents dread the most, teenagers. Since founding Winners Camp 3 decades ago, she's helped 14,000 teenagers discover their talents and leadership abilities. But before she could help anyone else, she had to overcome tremendous abuse she suffered as a child. Through her incredible strength, courage, and perseverance.
Damn, step outside there.
Comfort zone. Take a risk and the comfort zone.
I've known Delores since 1995, and she is just the most dynamic person I've ever met. The amount of work that she crams into one day, and for the amount of sleep that she gets, and the amount of energy that she puts into everything she does, it would take 3 of any other person to do that.
Our very first camp with 60 kids, we had potted toilets out there. And it was just amazing. It was a great camp. And we were sleeping on cots. So we've come a long way.
Since that first camp in 1985, Delores' vision for Winners Camp has expanded and taken root on the east side of Oahu, where her facility houses dormitories for campers and volunteers, a cafeteria, office space, fields, basketball courts, and an impressive ropes and activities course, all surrounded by the natural beauty and serenity of the mountains of Hawaii.
The biggest thing for me is that they get a sense of their own personal worth. What does it mean to be a human being? How are you showing up in the game of life? Like thinking about how am I being in life? Am I a giver or am I a taker? And what do you want to be?
I was 12 and a half and I was really excited to come because I've heard all these great things from my older brother. I was going into my 8th grade year and I wasn't doing very good in school with socializing and my grades, and after the camp my GPA went up it went from a 2.7 to a 3.5, so that was really because of the tools I learned at camp.
I think watching Scotty grow up through the program has been one of the coolest things for me, to see he can own it in the front of the room, and he's grown so much. You know, it's been a long process of watching him grow and being here and seeing all the different phases as he went through it.
At first I was kind of like, well, this is going to be exciting, but when I saw the ropes courses, I was like, okay. It felt like my heart was going to come out of my chest. It was really scary, but when I finally did it, at the end, I felt like I had more pride inside of me, like I could do anything. Because if you can do anything if you just believe.
And that's exactly what Delores has lived by all her life. Abandoned by her mother at a very young age, Delores was moved from one foster home to another in New England, forced to overcome incredible odds stacked against her.
I lived in 13 foster homes and was abused horribly, and I was told, you're no good, you're stupid, you'll never make it, you'll end up just like your mother, you're useless, all of that kind of stuff, and that's what I felt like I was. And I couldn't pull myself out of it, so I was angry, and the teen years were really painful. I used to be so angry at my mother. I was angry at the whole world, really angry. And I used to think that if I ever saw my mother, I'd give her a piece of my mind. And as I've matured and I've done the work that I've done, if I met her now, I'd give her a piece of my heart. Because she had me, and look, I turned out okay.
Delores chose to forgive and was challenged to live by one of her favorite sayings, You can either become bitter or better. And as she worked to restore her own life, she would soon face another crisis of restoration that would stretch her faith to a whole new level.
She said, you know, I really would love to have some place that I could call Winter's Camp, that there'd be a place, our own home. And quite frankly, I shook my head knowing the prices of land in Hawaii, that it's virtually impossible.
Delarice was offered a permanent home for Winter's Camp, but she had a great deal of work to do as the land had been abandoned, vandalized, and overgrown with vegetation.
We looked like a dump. There were washing machines, cars, everything up here. It was 8 dumpsters went out of here.
When I first came to see it, I thought, my goodness, maybe sometimes what you wish for, maybe you really don't want.
It wasn't what I saw, it was what I felt. I felt the mana, the goodness of the place, and the community just rallied together. Every business in Hawaii Kai rallied together. The military was outstanding. They said it would take $1 million and a year to get up, and we got it up and running in 6 months and only cash out $40,000, and the rest we put together was all volunteers. So there is so much aloha in this place, and you can feel it coming up the mountain. And I felt it. I didn't see the debris, I saw the kids. And it was amazing. Because of my life experiences, I feel that I was blessed. You know, if I had been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, I would not be doing this, you know. And so it just gave me a heart for teenagers because they're going through a rites of passage from childhood to adult. And usually it's done in pain, suffering, and I want it to be done in joy and celebration.
For over 20 years, HMAA has covered Hawaii's businesses and employees with affordable care, exceptional service, a wide range of providers, and traditional and alternative healthcare coverage. HMAA, we're passionate about your health.
These 3 remarkable women have overcome tremendous challenges to be successful and help others. They've shared their stories of perseverance, courage, hope, and love. And they remind us through their strength that we too have the power to shape our lives and achieve greatness. The power is within us.
You got the power!
Give me your puppies. Oh, I'm tangled in puppies. No bad thing.
Oh my lord. Oh gosh. Oh good.